This isn't my own traditional video. I'm in the middle of editing my Secret of the Mimic content. It's rendering. It's currently 12:52 a.m. I am in the middle of a 9-day work week. I am quite tired. But I've been thinking a lot, about where this channel used to be, and I've been coming to terms especially with my character and who I am as an individual, and I really wanted to give my testimony onto why I believe in what I do, and maybe this video will find people, whether it's people who used to watch me, still watch me, who I'm also very thankful for the people who still watch me, or new people who come to this channel and enjoys the content that I used to put out, as well as the content I'm trying to put out now. For those who don't know, my name is Nick, and I have lived a very intricate life. I'm not going to go into complete details because I'm a very private person. Um, but I wanted to talk about my testimony. I grew up in a non religious household. Everyone I knew growing up was non religious for like their entire character, I grew up around people who said terrible things, and I made a lot of mistakes as a kid. I was a very troubled child. My parents, doing their best, weren't easy. Uh, very, very tough life, and very tough, from a very young age, I was expected to be an adult. Mostly because of how I acted and who I surrounded myself with, and the expectations that were put on me by my family. So with that, I grew up too quickly, and I went through a lot of things in my lifetime, and I even joke with people to this day. A lot of the FNAF VHS people I hang out with, a lot of my voice acting gigs, I'll talk to them and you know just chat, and they'll be like, you talk in such a way, or even my coworkers, people will tell me I talk in a way like I'm 40 years old, and it's because I feel like I've lived a very long and unfortunate life. Looking back on it now, I feel not at peace, but I'm working on accepting the things that have happened in my life. The channel I made, the old ASMR channel, which is this channel, but it's different content. I felt very, the events that happened on, I felt very hurt. I had friends who I loved dear, and I still do. I miss everybody very much, and I became a very unfortunate person. I did really well on the internet, which was always a lifelong dream of mine, and I got greedy. I fell into sin and became the worst version of myself. Now, I never did anything illegal, but I still hurt a lot of people that were close to me, and a lot of those people went out and told their truths about how they felt about me, and a lot of them lied about who they thought I was, and they even associated me with people who I had never met or even knew existed. And because of that, the channel that was a lifelong dream of mine, which felt like the only upside in my life, um, it fell apart. And with this, it also came with the loss of my partner. This was it was detrimental to me. I remember it vividly. I was in the process of working at my actual job and just reading all the comments of people who were associating me with this concept of a monster, this concept of a being that was just so embroidered in evil and in sin. And I remember it vividly. I remember the pain, the pit in my stomach, the swelling in my throat as I read a message from my girlfriend just telling me, hey, I have a very important surgery coming up that was for stress. I had so much stress in my life that it caused my thyroids to go, and I'm getting surgery on that. But because of the path that is going down, because of how people are viewing you, it hurts me, and I can't do that anymore. And to read messages from people who I saw as family, to read messages from people who didn't even know me, classifying me as all these things, it taught me two things. One, importantly, I messed up. You know, I fell into greed. I fell into lust. I fell into, being a terrible, terrible being who valued success and wealth and becoming a viral sensation more than I did being a human and valuing people for what they were going through because I was going through so much. During the time of uh, being canceled, I was also going through a very personal time with my parents. My mom was extremely mentally ill. She was going through a lot that I can't speak for, and it became emotionally and mentally abusive on me. And there would be even times, on stream where I clearly wasn't doing well, and it affected me greatly, and that led to my parents divorcing and whatnot, which was a very harsh time on me. So it was an amalgamation of a lot of stuff going on in my life that was all terrible. And the reason I'm talking about this, and the reason why I'm telling you this, is because in the midst of all that, in the midst of my mom hurting me, the abuse setting in, people calling me a monster, my girlfriend telling me I was the greatest experience of her life, she will never love someone like me, I hit rock bottom. I was at the lowest I could be. No one cared about what I was going through because of how badly I hurt them, and I know that there was nothing I could have done to make things better. I remember so vividly turning the comments off on my video, my most recent ASMR video, the one that was being attacked, for something I didn't do. Because I was initially exposed, we'll say, for being that selfish individual. And then those people who exposed me eventually lied about me being a part of a company for VTubing that I wasn't a part of. And it scares me to this day because I don't ever want to go through something like that again. I went in my car the day this VTuber debuted, and I drove around trying to prove to the world that I wasn't this person, that I was innocent, and which When people found that out, they finally let loose. But then my channel was forgotten. Everything I'd built, everything I dreamed of as a youth flew out of my grasp. And I know that is because I blew it. I didn't earn it. I turned off the comments on the video. And before I did, or after I did, was a comment from a person I knew personally. A great friend of mine who I hope is well. Bless them. Telling me turning off the comments is a coward's way out. I felt just. I lost. There was no way I could escape, and the world was pressing on me even further. There was nothing, you know, on on top of what more could life have thrown at me? So after I read that text from my girlfriend telling me, I love you, but I can't be with you anymore because of what you're doing to yourself and to this relationship. I can't. And she left. I remember I calmly got in my car. I started driving, and I called my friends while I was driving. I had thought about taking my life, but I just screamed. I said, I did everything I could. I don't deserve the world. You know, I understand I hurt people, but these things are untrue, you know? These things are just, they're untrue. I started blaming God, you know? I said, why is my life so funny? These words I said I remember vividly, more clear than the rest. I started screaming at my windshield. Why is my life so funny to you? Why is my life so humorous? Am I just a dartboard for you? A simple board for you to throw problems and to execute harm and suffering? Why is my life so entertaining to you, so funny to you? I went home. My friends had came to see me because they were worried about my health. They told me to expect the worst and hope for the best. They told me if they needed anything, let them know. They offered me a hug. I declined. I didn't want to be touched or looked at or anything. The next morning, I roamed my house holding the stuff that she had given me, feeling the weight of my actions. As I stated, I didn't do anything that was illegal, but what I did hurt a ton of people, and I felt the weight of that. I felt the weight of my actions to my friends, the actions that my family was having on me that I took out on people, the actions of my greed. And it hurt. I belted out to God. I said, if you're real, okay, give me a reason. Give me a reason why I shouldn't kill myself right now. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that word, that sentence. Give me a reason why I shouldn't end it all right now. What is my life worth to you? If you are real, okay, you created me, all powerful God, you created me for this world, then why do I suffer? Why is my mom doing that to me? Why did my dad do that to me? Why are my friends not understanding what I'm going through? And why are people on the internet accusing me of something I didn't do? How come I go through all these financial struggles. How come I was stupid? How come I suffered? You know, some stuff was my fault, but other stuff I had no control over, but I know you did. So why? If you are real, give me a one reason why I shouldn't get in my car and end it. I'll do anything for one more chance. Anything. I'll change. I will change if it means I can just apologize to her. I get in my car and I start going to work. During this, I'm manic. I'm spamming my girlfriend's family, just pleading, begging for a chance to talk. My girlfriend's family aren't English speakers, so as I'm driving, I'm translating what they're saying. I'm manic. I'm in tears. I'm red in the face, angry, upset, and eventually she talks to me. She's in tears. She says, I walk around my house. I see all the stuffed animals you bought me. I see all the gifts you worked so hard to get for me. Everything I look at reminds me of you. I pleaded with her. You know, I we broke down, fixed things, and that's our story to tell. I go to work apprehensive. The world still hates my guts. But I look at it in a different angle, you know. I go through that entire day just why? How? I went my entire life mocking God. I went my entire life blaming God for my suffering. But the one moment where I reach out, cry to him, and say, please, all of a sudden she comes back. All of a sudden she's back and things are better, and she gives me that another chance. It couldn't be a coincidence. It's too good, too obscure, and too specific to be a coincidence. I go out and I do some research. You know, I look at all the religions, and I look at the history, and I look at, you know, and I call to Jesus, and I say, Lord Jesus, if you are real, I thank you for what you've done, and I want to get to know you. I accept that you are real. I accept that what I felt is true. And I accept that you are here listening to this right now. I remember being in my car saying that, and my body felt a warmth. I felt chills throughout my entire body. The hairs on my neck stood up, and just every hair on my body stood up. It felt like ecstasy. It felt like the most relief I have ever felt. Every day after that, for 3 months, I prayed while driving to work and back home. Lord, I want this to end. All these people on the internet think I'm part of this VTubing studio. I pray for no drama from home, work, online, or anywhere in the world. I want to live life, and I want to be free of this pain. Every day I prayed that. My girl was on Twitter, unbeknownst to my praying, fighting my battles, proving the people on the internet that I was not what they say. Proving, sure, with evidence and with reasoning and with proof that I was innocent. And the world resumed. The world forgot about it. And it was okay. Every now and then, I'm scared of it happening again. Because that was a very scary time in my life, and I'm scared of going through that again. And I'm very careful. I make sure I am as careful as I can be. I pray daily that I don't ever want to go through that again, but I knew right then and there that God was real. That my suffering, if I had taken myself out, and let's say if God wasn't real, I continue to follow the ideals I follow in this miserable, unhappy, and negative world, what was it for? Why would I just go about my life being unhappy? Why would I end my life suffering? You know, what a waste of life. After I went through that, I rebranded my channel. It is now what you see today. I pray that one day this channel will find the same sense of community and a better environment of positivity where I get to show my true passion and the hard work I bring to the world. And if it never happens, then it's not meant to be. But I wanted to put this out there on the internet in hopes that one day someone who is a believer or isn't will watch it and understand why I've changed. I'm not perfect. I still struggle, and I still have people who I go out and ask for help, and I hate asking for help, and I regret every time in my life I've asked for help. I'm still doing everything I can to make up those mistakes. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I work hard. I do a lot. I'm no better than you, and you're no better than me. We are all brothers and sisters in this world, and I see that now. I pray one day that people just shut up and see it for themselves, because the world is so negative. If you are comfortable, I'd like to hear some of your testimonies below. I'd like to hear your reasons for believing. Until then, if you would like to, if you'd like to join me in my journey, maybe I'll do more videos like this in the future, but I will continue the content I do now. Content that I work hard to do. I do it right. I do it with quality, and I do it out of love and not because I have to. I don't want wealth. I don't want fame. I don't want greed. I want a community that comes together and loves and appreciates. I wanted to spread the word. Jesus did that for me. Thank you all for watching. This is a harder one to make, but I hope people enjoy it. Thank you guys. It feels weird to say like, comment, or subscribe, which is usually my normal outro. But if you want to be a part of the community, that would mean a lot. God bless, guys.